So I guess I was right when it comes to me advising people to save their fragments and blessings. I guess if you weren't aware, obviously we did get new ruins, which we'll go over those in just a second, but we did get new blessings, and as predicted, as I've mentioned, you know, the developers are bringing something new into the game, something's going to affect the blessings, and so rightfully if they want to add more blessings, it seems that they might do so, just because of how they introduced the previous blessings during a time where we had a new piece of content. And lo and behold, your boy was right. It's all about survivability, so don't worry, nothing offensive. But the new blessings aren't actually bad. The one with life pretty much gives you a shield depending on the HP that you have, right? Or the amount, so legendary version of it will give you 35% of your max HP as shield, and that's on for 60 seconds. I know that a decent amount of people are making good use of that. Obviously with me getting you know, saving all my blessings, I managed to get heroic life and heroic penalty quest survival. Unfortunately no natural disaster, but it is what it is. Penalty quest survival, basically when you extreme evasion successfully, then you get your 5 times your defense will increase. So it's basically swift strike. It's just swift strike will activate instantly for you to gain some offensiveness, and penalty quest survival just gives you your defense. I feel like the imagery should have been changed up. It would have made more sense. And then natural disaster is a very solid one in terms of team fight. So if you are in need of providing some survivability for your teammates during team fight situations, this will give them a damage decrease taken of 8% legendary. Again, I've got that one in rare, which I do make good use in guild fights and whatnot, so make sure to do so. Gives you a 3%. It's better than nothing, to be fair. So for the survivabilities, yeah, I would say life and natural disaster right now are very, very solid. Penalty quest survival isn't too bad in terms of, you know, just extreme evasion 5 times, you get 45% increase in your defense, right? That's not horrible. But there is one of a ruin that if you activate that, then you can get a 4% increase in defense. So it's just like, I don't know, I find it fairly more easier, and it's an instant use. But I mean, in a blessing slot, that's actually fairly okay-ish. But life and natural disaster right now are pretty much the talk. And that's pretty much the premise of those blessings, so nothing too crazy to go on and look into, you know. They're providing us survivability. Alright, so the new ruins are in town, and obviously something interesting has come about to where they are providing breaks. We've got heavy break, so wind is heavy break, the remaining ones are almighty break. Now, why this is so depressing for me personally is because out of all of the new ruins that I need, it's the dark one, and that is the one that I don't have. If you're sitting there and you've got the dark one, congratulations, and I'll tell you why in just a second, because I'm pissed. Anyway, so obviously you got the wind one, wind element, heavy break. I'm not sure why they made that one's heavy break, but fair enough. Does knock down. By the way, they all have good area control, so I will say that's pretty solid. When the skill hits, the critical hit damage received increases by 2% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, so that you can get that to 6%. And then on top of that, damage increased by 20% when attacking enemies with their elemental weakness. The additionals on what all of these ruins do are actually fairly solid. It's nothing too broken, because this is something that we've kind of seen beforehand with the previous, but it's more of an option for us, so it's a big W in my book, if you ask me. Now, out of all of them, as I've mentioned, the Dark Element is the biggest W, because this is our first almighty break for Dark Element, and this is... I really need this, and the game is just like, yeah, no. So almighty break for the Dark Element. When the attack hits an enemy that doesn't have a break gauge, then pretty much this will do an extra 90% in damage for 7 seconds. So I just need it for the almighty break, but the game clearly isn't going to give me any of it. Managed to get heroic for fire and water. So fire applies a shield when the user uses the skill. When the skill hits, it deals additional damage equal to 50% of the attack, and then the shield is 30% of the max user's HP, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's fairly simple. Again, there could be some good control range to it, so that could be used in... I'm still trying to figure out like a good combination and scenario to put them in, so you might see some separate videos, but for this one, it's all about the Dark Element. But anyway, and then we got the almighty break for the water element, so it increases the damage dealt by 7% to the targets within a 5-meter range, so keep in mind of the range that you're doing. And on top of that, as Frostbite. Honestly, with where water element is at right now, with skills just stacking up on the Frostbite, you can really pile on some good damage. And then of course for it to have Almighty Break with Frostbite, I would gladly take that. Wait, does this have Frostbite? No, this has got freeze. So yeah, this might be my new favorite one, to be fair, just so that way I can maximize the additional Frostbite damages. Anyway, overall, all of these runes are, yeah, they're all fairly solid. We can most definitely get our usage out of it. It's given us more options, so that way we don't have to resort to just one set of ruins to, you know, do some Almighty Break. I mean, now that we've got access to Almighty Break, if we need that, if we need to cater to that big ASAP break coverage, then we can do so. But more options, more control of an area. But this is what I need, and the reason why I'm saying this is probably going to be the same case for a lot of you guys, and that is because when it comes to the Hobgoblin, a lot of people are getting good times in purely because of how quick they're able to defeat the first wave, because of the amount of goblins that there are. I'm going to attempt it. I don't have the ruin, so I know I'm already screwed, and it pisses me off, because I really did try to get some fragments out of it, but anyway, let me set everything up. Right, well, full on dark. We're gonna run with it and see how things go. All right, let's see how. I mean, oh my god, I'm already cooked. I can already tell I'm cooked. Okay, can we drag you guys in? Thank you very much. Oh god, how? Why are you guys still alive? Okay, I'm gonna have to use my skills here. I already know I'm cooked. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to group together. Thank you very much. We'll bloom it. We hope to get a big hit. Okay, we didn't get a big hit. Okay, hold on a minute. 28 seconds. That's not. What may you can do? What may you can do? But it sucks though, knowing that. I hate how the developers have done it, because it's just like, hey, you need this. Otherwise, you ain't gonna get a good time. God damn it. It is annoying, I will admit. But what can you do? What can you do? Such is life, eh? Gonna have to make do with how things are. That's a-okay. Break that. Spawn them in. Oh god, for a second I thought some lag was gonna kick in there, but we're a-okay. There we go. Can we end it off? Oh man, I was trying to hit below 120. I might be able to actually. The game doesn't screw me over here. No! Oh my god. Why did you go that way? I was moving away from the enemy. 122. Okay, well, I know I can beat that, but ultimately I am so screwed. Purely because I don't have that new ruin. If you have that new ruin, where there's all those goblins at the very beginning, it literally, you can just clean them out, and you can basically get phase 1 done in less than, what, 5 seconds, and then phase 2 is just those 2 goblins. I mean, again, that's an easy cleanup. So you're technically going into basically you're going into phase 3 with like wasting what, 15, probably less than that from what I've seen. And you got to keep in mind that's the first ever and only Almighty Dark ruin that we have. So even when it comes to you breaking, you've got that advantage play of breaking the enemy sooner. So it's just, yeah, you know what, for the sake of the video, please, 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 please. Oh, do I have any more that I can? The pain. By the way, I had like 2,400 rune fragments saved up, didn't get it, the dark element. Then I bought 40 boxes that could potentially give you rare, heroic, or legendary, and then obviously potential fragments. 40 box opened, no, nothing. I'm telling you, I have done all that I can to try and get that last fragment ruin. Oh, sorry, the last ruin from the new set, and I've had no luck. But yeah, I'll put all the ruins to the test. I'll do their own videos. We'll find out some combinations, but even though some would resort to still using these, you got to keep in mind with the big area control these have and the range that they play at, it is giving you more options and it changes things up. So these are actually a huge W, but the biggest W of them all is this, and I don't have it, and it's annoying, and I'm gonna cry. Screw.